how to hire fast without giving up on quality. The dream come true. And I'm here to tell you it can be done. I'm going to challenge all of you to start making your hiring decisions within 5 days. I'm going to cover 7 tips for moving fast, being decisive, and making high quality hires in under 5 days. So the first part of it is being prepared. We talk a lot about creating great, smart job descriptions, candidate scorecards, but just understanding my process, making sure that everybody's aligned. So anybody involved in this process, that I've got their schedules available, that they've made this a priority, that we've set up the groundwork so that we can be ready to move quickly as soon as we find that right candidate. Second thing that you've got to do is you've got to be able to evaluate your candidate pool really, really fast and easily. You've got to do it on a daily basis. I take 10, 15 minutes max a day, and I'm often juggling up to 10 different jobs at a time to look at the candidates coming through my pipeline. And why? Well, I need to get this job filled and I need to get it done fast. So you've got to move quickly. You've got to evaluate that pipeline once or twice a day. You spend 10, 15 minutes reviewing the resumes that you've collected. You've got to have some great tools for this, because ideally you're bringing in candidates from lots of different job boards, different sources, employee referrals, recruiters, doing some of your own headhunting of your own. You're probably using a lot of different techniques. You need to be able to quickly evaluate those candidates, resumes, LinkedIn profiles, whatever information you're getting, so you can make a strong, decisive decision on who to spend time with in the next phases. The third part of this plays right into why we evaluate candidates and their resumes, the inbound folks or the folks we're getting. So it's so important to evaluate them quickly. We need to get them into the next step and keep them engaged in the process. Candidate applies, within 12 hours, I'm reaching out to them to schedule the first Zoom call. That's moving super fast. Now, I can almost guarantee you when those folks apply and you reach out within 12 hours, you're getting that first call scheduled within a day or two. I immediately respond to these folks. And there's a couple of reasons why. Well, one is I'm moving the process fast, but most importantly is that a candidate engagement piece. These candidates are out there, they're looking at lots of different opportunities. You're competing as an employer against all sorts of different kinds of interesting opportunities these folks might get to look at. In many cases, they're getting offers on the spot, same day, instantly. We need to get them into our hiring process, out of the application process, into the hiring process as fast as possible. By responding quickly, they remember who you are, they appreciate that, they're more likely to show up to that first interview. That's going to give you the opportunity to share your employer value proposition in person, face to face with that person, and keep them engaged and moving through your process. Fourth part of this is doing Zoom interviews. So I try to avoid these days doing phone interviews wherever possible. I will do them, don't get me wrong. If they're useful, if I need to do it, it will be done. But a Zoom interview is a great way to connect with somebody so that I can execute the power interview technique in a more personal way. Because the first part of that is me sharing the employer value proposition, answering any questions they have, really engaging that person to help them take their guard down, and so that I can get to some really impactful questions in my first encounter with that person. And that is, getting references from previous direct supervisors, understanding their most significant achievements, and using my art of being curious to dig to the truth of the responses to those questions. If all that goes well, and I'm liking this candidate, now I need to accomplish 2 more things. The next one is, in that interview, I want to get them scheduled for the in-depth interview. I want to do it right then and there, prevent any delays in me having to figure out when people are available, get back to them, waiting for them to get back to me, just like how I'm scheduling that first interview via Zoom with a self-scheduling tool in most cases. Cut out the back and forth, all of the challenges that there generally are when it comes to getting 2, 3, 4, or many more people together to do an in-depth interview. So I get it scheduled right then and there, but it also creates a priority for the candidate to provide me their references from their past direct supervisors and complete in-depth assessments. By having that next step on the books, and that being the last step, and it's being communicated to the candidate, it helps create an urgency for the candidate to follow through with the other things that I need, which are, I need to speak to those previous 2 to 3 direct supervisors, and I need them to complete some more objective assessments that are going to help me understand their behavioral fit, their culture fit, their integrity, and their skills and aptitude for the role. So that way, when I get through with that last step, I can be super decisive. Streamline who's involved in that last step. So we need to really narrow in who should be part of that in-depth interview. So I need to cut out any unnecessary people. The only person that absolutely needs to be in there is their direct supervisor. In some cases, that's their direct supervisor and their supervisor. But let's eliminate the people who don't absolutely need to be there to prevent them from becoming a roadblock or scheduling delay. Lastly, I need to have a really good structured in-depth interview process. So we're typically using a career history interview. We're using targeted behavioral-based questions. And we're leveraging those references, arts of being curious, to make sure that we can dig deep and then we can get all the information that we need to make that final hiring decision. So the last item is we want to use candidate scorecards. Candidate scorecards are something we did in the preparation phase, that we decided what qualities, attributes, skills, experiences, the 3 to 6 things that are really important for this person to bring to the table for them to be successful in the role. I want to complete that candidate scorecard with whoever was involved in the in-depth interview process immediately after the interview, and then compare notes and make a final decisive decision right then and there. So that is 2 meetings that are occurring. You can easily get those done on a Monday and a Wednesday and have an offer out by Wednesday afternoon. This next video, I want to talk about how to use working interviews to replace the in-depth interview. Working interviews are a phenomenal way to make sure that you've got the right person. I invite you to watch our next video, and I'll see you there.